Today we're talking about the value of physical activity for general health and well-being, but with a particular interest this week in how do we survive remaining physically active whilst amidst the COVID-19 situation in self-isolation and with social distancing. So I've got some practical tips to share with you today around how you can remain active, enjoy your sense of movement, and look after both your physical and your mental health. So I hope that I'm recording live. I hope this is working. As I said, sit back, get comfortable. I was intending on responding to live questions through our Facebook page. However, I'm lacking in that technology today, so perhaps next time I'll be able to engage a little more with you. So starting off, I just thought I'd introduce myself. I'm Janet. You may have seen me on previous videos through the Women's Health and Wellbeing Services website. I am responsible for conducting talks, running women's retreats. I guide the Women's Circle, and I also launched the Wellness Warriors at the beginning of this year, which sadly has had to stop. So my role, I guess, is to interact face to face, generally in person, but of course that's been taken away from me. And now I have the opportunity to present some health and wellbeing topics to you via video streaming. So I'm really passionate about health and well-being, and I guess I live my life in such a way that allows me to practice my health and wellbeing skills all the time. I love reading health articles, yoga magazines, and just generally finding foods and lifestyle methods that energize and nurture me so that I can function with great vitality and energy. And I feel very privileged that I can share some of those findings and experiences with you through this forum. So I've chosen physical activity to be my first topic, as this is something that I hold dearly. It's a value that was instilled in me from a young age. I grew up with an American father and an Australian mother who both valued exercise, and I was exposed to being active right from a young age and really found the joy in remaining active and realised how much happier and energetic I felt if I incorporated some form of activity into my everyday life. So I've continued that now into my adult years, and I'm fortunate now to pass that value on to my own children. I have a 12-year-old boy and a 9-year-old daughter. So as a wife and a mother, I'm role modelling the value of physical activity to my family, and they have picked it up and run with it. They love it. It's quite common at the moment for us to be down at the park every morning, or taking a bike ride, or just stretching in the garden. So I can say that I see the benefits that it offers children, as well as the experiences that I've had personally to assist in both my physical and my mental health. So I'm really excited to share some of those experiences with you today. So first of all, I'd just like to start by welcoming you, whether you are a client to Women's Health and Wellbeing Services and you are known to us, or whether perhaps today is your first interaction that you have with our service. We are very passionate about supporting women and families, particularly in the southeast metropolitan area of Perth in Western Australia, to live the best possible life that you can live. And so we believe that your overall health and wellbeing is a holistic package. So our staff are here to support you in a variety of ways. Our main service is through therapeutic counselling, and we have a compassionate team of psychologists who are continuing to offer their counselling services during this time through phone or video telehealth services. And also I have some other terrific colleagues who, like myself, are providing interaction through video conferencing and offering you mental health seminars, information of how to survive as a mother, cooped up with young children. We also have a Netflix club. So we're finding new and innovative ways to remain open and to support our local communities. So we're really pleased to have you on board today. I'm also conscious that this video may be watched at a later date by employees, teachers, childcare workers. So I hope to make today's session relevant to all of my viewers, and also the content will be relevant for years to come. So whilst I'm talking today from my own home, in social isolation, talking to you perhaps in your own home, in a few years' time, the information that I'm about to share today will still be relevant for any period in your life, particularly times where you may be feeling down, you may be going through a period of grief, you may have had a big life upheaval or relationship breakdown, and you're looking for some tools to add to your toolkit to remain energetic, healthy, vital, and to able to mentally cope with the struggles that you may be going through. So whether or not physical activity is something that you regularly engage in, or it's something that you struggle with, the importance is to just start where you are and accept that there is always room for improvement. There is always ways that you can become more active. So it's important to realize straight up, why do we need to remain active? What are the benefits of physical activity? And I think for most of us who enjoy physical activity, it's obvious to say that it gives us a greater sense of energy. It's the one activity that you can do in your life that gives you an almost instant release of serotonin, which is the happy hormone. So you feel an increased, a better mood straight away. And I do remember reading somewhere that if you exercise early in the morning, then you are likely to come back to your partner or your family and feel more loving and receptive and compassionate to them, or perhaps to your work colleagues for the rest of the day. So yeah, that feel-good hormone is pumping around you, and it can often last for most of the day, which is why a lot of people choose to exercise first thing in the morning. So it can be considered nature's happy pill. Having some exercise can help lift your mood and your energy for a sustained period of time. It's particularly great for abating the effects of anxiety and depression and grief. So it releases the tension and the stress within the body and allows your body to relax, and to relax the muscles that may be holding tension around the emotions of the situation that you find yourself in. And the other great thing about remaining active is that it increases your social connections, so it reduces isolation. Whether you choose a single walking partner to join you, or you join a group activity, there is that sense of belonging, that sense of connection, which is so crucial to us as human beings in feeling well. And it's lovely to have people around us to motivate us to remain active. If you're one of these people that just can't get off the couch on your own, you need a exercise buddy, then it's a fabulous way to stay motivated and to stick to your goals. So I encourage you to find someone that's as eager as you to add some regular activity into your week. But also, there are some fantastic health benefits to remaining active. And I've just sourced some of these from the Live Lighter website. It says being active reduces your risk of heart disease, some cancers, and type 2 diabetes. It also strengthens your muscles and bones, helps to maintain body weight, and can reduce symptoms of depression. So whilst there are some immediate effects that you get from moving your body, there are also some incredible long-term disease preventing effects and sustained benefit to our mental health, to having some form of regular activity in our week, in our lifestyle. So I'd like to invite you to have a think about which activity it is that you find joy in doing. If I was to ask you, what would you like to do to remain active? There is no point in me imposing an activity on you that you don't enjoy, because you won't stick at it. So I'd like to invite you to take a moment to think about what type of movement, so you don't have to think of it in terms of a strenuous, grueling exercise. I'm thinking of just one way that you like to move your body, and give some thought to that. It's got to be fun, it's got to be accessible, and it's got to be something that you'll enjoy looking forward to doing regularly. Okay, so you've got that in your mind. All right. For me, it's walking, it's bike riding, and it's yoga and dancing when I can fit that in. They're the ones that spring to mind for me personally. I'm hoping that you've got a grasp of what movement you would enjoy doing for yourself. All right, I'd like you to bear that in mind as we continue this morning with our talk. You then might be wondering, well, how often should I be exercising? And how do I fit that in to my schedule? The COVID-19 situation has uprooted our routine. It has changed our lifestyle. It has caused us to remain at home, unless of course you're still able to attend your workplace. It has found us in a situation where we are perhaps with our family constantly. We have lost the opportunity to have the free time that we may have devoted to our own visits to the gym or sporting activities. And I think particularly as women, we are the cog in our families, in our communities, and it's so important for us to prioritise some time for our own activity and to not forget the value that will bring to us. So we're going to have a little look at now how much activity you should be aiming for in a week, and how you may be able to slot that in to your schedule, whether you are in the COVID-19 situation with us presently today, or you're watching this video at a later stage where you have the ability to attend community classes or gyms or swimming pools, which currently are closed. And just to encourage you to think about what sort of small changes you can make in your life to start this routine of becoming more active. Or perhaps you will assess that you're already doing enough, and that's fabulous. This is all just a gentle reminder of things that you can try for yourself. So I'm assuming that I'm speaking to an audience of adult women, however there may be some young teenagers enjoying this as well. Australia's physical activity guidelines recommend that adults should be active on most days, preferably all days of the week, and we should be accumulating 2.5 to 5 hours of moderate intensity physical activity. So we're looking at half an hour to an hour every day, or if you're inclined to do more vigorous physical activity, you can be aiming for 1.25 to 2.5 hours per week. So you may have shorter, more intense periods of activity during the week, or a couple of blocks of higher intensity exercise where you're really getting your heart rate up, your breathing rate up. It's difficult to speak while you're exercising. And it's also recommended that a couple of times a week we should do some muscle strengthening activities. And so these are good things like weight resistance, yoga, Pilates, any activities like squats and using weights where you're sort of resisting against the muscles. So it's about having the right amount and the right mix of activities. So it doesn't mean you have to do the same thing every day. If that bores you, mix it up. Maybe go for a walk 3 times a week and do a fitness circuit 2 days a week. And if you're lucky to have access to your own pool, you could get in and swim once or twice a week. So the variety will keep you interested if you can mix up all those things that you enjoy doing. So whether or not you are sitting there thinking, well, I don't do enough, or my regular routine is out the window because my gym is shut and my sports club is frozen for a few months, or my children are home and so I can't go for the walk that I would normally have on my own, now's the time to get creative. We're all having to think of new ways to build some sort of physical activity into our routine each week, each day. So I'm going to look at some of those ideas with you. And as I said, if we were doing a Facebook Live and I could work out how to read your comments, I would be able to hear your ideas and add them to my toolkit as well. But unfortunately, I haven't grasped that, and I'm at home, isolated, and don't have the IT support with me to work that one out. So perhaps next time. So whether or not your routine is somewhat unchanged or whether it's completely been upheaved, we have an opportunity to create some healthy habits. And so I'm going to make some suggestions around how you can build that activity into your week. And at the time of this video, you are still allowed to get together with one other person or your immediate family unit to exercise. So if you are one of these people that are more motivated to exercise with other people, then it is still within your control to invite a fitness buddy or to encourage your family to exercise with you together. And whether or not you do that within your home or outside of the home is completely your choice, what you enjoy doing. So I'm just going to take a drink and then we'll launch into some ideas of what to do. And I can say I've tried a few of these out with my family the last 2 weeks. So first of all, I'd like to look at some of the ways that you can exercise in and around the home. One of these suggestions taken from the Department of Health Healthy WA website is to include active chores into your day. So we mustn't forget that physical activity comes in a variety of different forms. It doesn't have to be, a sport or a walk or a cycle. It can be our day-to-day chores that we need to do around the house. So things like vacuuming, gardening, washing the car all use large muscles in our body, get us moving, and are usually sustained for 20 to 30 minutes. Perfect. So if you incorporate something into every day or every second day, again, they're things that you can get the kids involved in so they're not sitting on the couch or on their devices. Get them up, get them involved, make it fun. And even if you're working from home and you're finding that you have a somewhat desk job, there is no reason why you can't put in, say, an hour or 2 hours, and then when you would normally get up and walk around, talk to your colleagues, grab a cuppa, go out and hang up that load of washing, or grab the vacuum and vacuum 1 or 2 rooms of the house, so that you're actually getting some movement away from the computer and the keyboard. Build it into your day. Easy. Some other suggestions for exercising at home, particularly if you have children with you, is to follow YouTube. There's, as Mel mentioned in her video a couple of weeks ago, we're just spoilt for choice these days for YouTube videos, or a lot of gyms and classes have gone online, so you may be able to find an online yoga class or a CrossFit class or Zumba, something that you previously enjoyed, or maybe this is a chance to try something new. My children have grown up the last few years enjoying Just Dance, and so whether you have a console that plays Just Dance or you can find some routines on YouTube, they're a great thing for the whole family to do together. Just clear the furniture, make some space, and get your groove on. The other thing is you can incorporate some exercises whilst doing other activities that don't require a lot of thinking. So I'm a regular yoga practitioner, and my yoga teacher often reminds us to do our stretches while we're watching television. So if you know of some stretches that you can do, just sit on the floor instead of the couch and do your stretches while you're watching the news or watching your Netflix, and give your body some movement. The other great idea is to do them while you're talking on the telephone. So, quite commonly we're on our mobile, but instead of just sitting and chatting away, you can actually physically get up and do your stretches while you are talking. So some simple ideas like this, or if you've got the back of your chair, you can be stretching out your back, remembering obviously to change hands so that you balance out both sides of the body. Or you could simply be, walking while you're talking. I've seen that down at the park. A lot of people are walking and talking at the same time. So think about pockets of time in your day where you can move your body at the same time as when you would regularly be doing other activities. Now, here's something I think anybody can achieve. My kids and I set up a fitness circuit in the back garden yesterday morning, and it was actually heaps of fun. My son had been doing a CrossFit class once a week for the last 6 months, and that came to an end. And I was enjoying some more intense physical activity with the Wellness Warriors each week, and my daughter was playing basketball, and all of that came to an end. So even though we've been walking and riding and going to the park each week or each day, we agreed that we wanted to find something that was a little bit more intense. So yesterday morning, we have quite a moderate backyard with a patch of grass, and each of us designed 2 activities to create a circuit of 6 stations. So we just looked around the house to see what we had available and thought of some activities that we were comfortable and familiar with, and we set up a circuit. So we had a rope ladder that we stepped between and ran back and returned again. We pulled out my fit ball and we were bouncing on the fit ball whilst doing some arm movements and clapping above our head. My son encouraged us to do some burpees. Then I had a couple of dumbbells, so we were doing some arm movements with the dumbbells to increase our upper body strength. Then we had a station against the wall where we could choose to either do a handstand and hold it for 30 seconds or do a squat and hold it for 30 seconds. And the final station had sit-ups and push-ups. So you can see across those 6 activities we were working our whole body. The large muscles, there was some aerobic movement, there was some strength, muscle movement. And my daughter set up the timer on her watch and we did 1 minute at each station and then rotated. When we completed all 6 stations, we stopped for a drink break and we nearly completed 3 rounds. I have to admit, I got tired before the end of the 3rd round, but it was so easy and achievable and fun. And I also realized that when we start to enter the winter months and it's wet, this is something we could set up under our patio or in our large living space and achieve at home. So regardless of what type of home you live in, how much space you have, what equipment you have at home, you can find everyday objects. So if you don't have dumbbells, you just get 2 milk bottles and fill them with water and they will act as a resistance tool for your muscles. I also had a stool that we bought years ago when my children couldn't reach the basin in the bathroom. That could be used as a stepping tool to step up and step down. So get creative, make your own. If you're at home alone or you don't have a fitness buddy at home, set up WhatsApp or Zoom and do a virtual session with a buddy who's doing their own exercises at their house, and you can motivate each other. It's possible. It's possible to have fun and to find ways. So give it a go. If you're stuck for ideas on what to include in your workout, you can head over to the Live Lighter website and they have some suggested workouts starting from beginner, a basic 15-minute workout, and once you feel competent with that, you can progress to an intermediate 30-minute workout, and then there is even a higher intensity level one as well. And I'm sure there's lots available on the internet, but the Live Lighter website has it already set up there for you, along with some other great suggestions on how to gradually increase your walking fitness. And also I'm going to put a link to this from our website. I really love this. On the Live Lighter website is a 30-day Move More April challenge. So I'm just going to hold it in front of the video for you to see. What it is, it's a chart with a suggested activity to do every day. So a lot of them only take about 3 minutes, but as you can see from the pictures, there's push-ups, there's mindfulness, there's burpees, there's walking, all sorts of things. So it just gives you ideas if you're stuck for ideas. And I thought this is really great if you've got someone else in the house that you can do it with. You could pin it up and just make it your starting point for your day, for your exercise, and then things will spin off from that. You can also link into their Facebook page and be a part of the community of people that are also doing this. So it's a fabulous idea. I'm going to be checking out to see if there's something coming up in May. But this is called the Live Lighter, Move More April Challenge. So I'll put that up on our website. And all the content from today's session will be in a blog that will appear on our website. So if you're madly taking notes, sit back and relax. It will all be published in a blog for you to refer to. Okay, so I'm just continuing with a few more ideas of how to be active around the home. Do you have a trampoline? Maybe you've always thought it's just for the kids. Well, guess again. It can be a fabulous tool for you. So get on there, jump around, do some jogging, incorporate it into your fitness stations if that's the way you prefer to go, but make use of it. It's a great tool. If you have a house that you can do laps around, or a garden that you can do laps around, put on some music, just walk, get your body moving. Or if you need to make that concept fun for your kids, set up a treasure hunt. You could do that either inside or outside, or a combination of the two. If you've just experienced the joy of the Easter egg hunt on the Easter long weekend, you'll know how much kids love to find and discover things. So perhaps you can pick some other objects and use those to hide around the house, and then get the kids to hide for you so that you have to go around and look for them as well. So treasure hunt, that's always a winner. And something that a lot of you have probably already done, just a reminder that if you have an activity tracker, that you can set up a challenge with your friends, family, work colleagues, see who can get the most steps in a day. It's still motivating to know when there's that sense of competition against someone else, that that you just keep tabs on yourself and make sure that you are moving each day. So there's just a few suggestions for around the house, but the ideas are limitless. It's as wide as your imagination. Get the kids involved; they will give you ideas as well. I guess the importance is just to build it into your routine every day. Aim for 30 minutes. If you enjoy it and it goes longer, well then fabulous, you're ahead of the game. But it'll also give you some quality connection time with your family or your partner or whoever it is that you live with. So just expanding from that, if you are able to get out into your local neighbourhood or your local park at the moment, then there are some further suggestions beyond the house. Those of you that have a dog, you're lucky. You will always have a reason to go beyond the gates, and I'm sure your dog will be welcoming the extra walks at this time, whether that's once a day with the whole family, or perhaps the dog gets walked 2 or 3 times a day by different members of the family. It's great. The dog will get fitter as well. As I suggested before, going for walks, I've seen a lot more families out bike riding at this time, which I just love to see. I think that's fabulous. Scooters, skateboards, roller skates, whatever you've got in the backyard, pull it out, make use of it, get moving as a family. Another great idea is to consider locations that you are regularly visiting within perhaps a 2-kilometre radius of your house. So if you are needing to post a letter or popping down to the shops to get a little bit more bread, have a think. Can I walk there instead of driving? And build the activity into your errands. Make the purpose of going to the shop or the post office the destination for your walk or your bike ride. Also, at the moment, here in Perth, we are fortunate that we can still access the bush and the beach and the parks. So when you have a little bit more extended time, consider organising a group active outing for your family. Pack a picnic, take the bikes, go for a walk, go for a swim down at the beach, and get out and enjoy nature. This is a perfect season, autumn in Perth, perfect season to get out, enjoy the outdoors, And being in nature also calms the nervous system. It gives you a sense of peace. It gives you something different to look at than what you've been looking at in your home. And I can guarantee you that there will be other people out and about respecting the social distancing laws. But it just gives you a chance to say hello, good morning, and socially interact from a distance with other like-minded people that are out and about enjoying nature too. So get outside and enjoy our beautiful Perth weather. And finally, I've had the joy in seeing some of my neighbours exercising together on their front lawn in the street. So I saw some senior members of my community doing like some stepping and aerobic movement on one side of the street to the other, facing each other, which was fabulous. Down at my local park, there are people doing Tai Chi, playing soccer, playing badminton, flying kites, pulling out their remote controlled cars and boats. So it's a wonderful opportunity to pull out the sports equipment, pull out the toys that have sat in the toy box for a while, forgotten, and take them down to your park. And there's also a great opportunity, if you know your neighbours really well, to set up a dance party. Everybody could stand at the end of their driveway, pump out some music, have a dance, have a laugh. It'll boost your mood. It'll bring some connection with you and your neighbours, and you'll find your 30. So I just set you the challenge to find a way that is meaningful to you in your home or in your neighbourhood. So I wish you luck with that. Now, I'd also like to recognise those people that are in essential services or who are still able to go to their workplace. Some of you are automatically active in the roles that you have. So you may be on the go, on the move all day with your job, which is fabulous. Whether you're a gardener or a nurse or a construction worker, you're already getting that incidental movement in your day. But so many of us are seated for 6 to 8 hours of our day, and we need to find ways to incorporate movement in the office, in the workplace. And this is nothing new, but maybe it's a time to think about what you can do to make change in that regard. So again, these ideas will be in my blog, but I'd just like to throw a few suggestions your way to see what might be a fit for you. If you are working within a reasonable distance from home and you could opt to walk or cycle or catch public transport, then that will give you an opportunity to move instead of sitting in a car and driving from A to B and not getting much sunlight and fresh air. Sunlight is particularly important for our immune system and for our mood at this time. So if you can find at least 15 minutes of outdoor time incorporated with your activity, then that's fantastic. That'll do great things for your health. Some other ideas for in the workplace: rather than sending an email to someone who's across the room or in the next, the next floor, just get up, go for a walk, and respect the social distancing laws and have a chat with them. That will allow you to build a little bit of incidental movement into your day. You could print your documents to the furthest printer to get a little bit more walking in. And the one that I really, really, really like, which is becoming more prevalent in workplaces, is to suggest a walk and talk meeting with your colleagues. So So rather than sitting down over a desk or in some armchairs, stand up, go for a walk outside, talk while you're walking, whether or not you need to record that meeting, or you can simply take the minutes when you get back, or maybe it's just a chance to connect, an update on how you're going. Yeah, why not have a walk and talk meeting? I think that's a fabulous idea. And obviously regular breaks from your desk are important. So if you need to set a little alarm or reminder every 30 to 50 minutes to get up, stretch, move around, then that will significantly improve your health. It'll bring you oxygen and blood to your brain, so it'll keep you alert and refreshed. And yeah, you'll come away at the end of the day feeling less fatigued and less headachy as well, I'm sure. So we've now been sitting for about 45 minutes. I'm hoping to inspire you to get up and move very shortly. You have some idea of what type of movement is fun for you. You've heard quite a large list of suggestions of how that can be done. The next important thing to consider is, when are you going to fit that into your routine? I'm a morning person. I love getting up and exercising either first thing in the morning or directly after breakfast. I just find that it sets me up for the whole day. I feel energized. I get my boost of sunshine, and I can fit it in at the start of the day and know that it's done, and it doesn't get washed away in the rest of the duties and responsibilities that flow on for the rest of the day. But I know there are others that mornings aren't suitable for them, and so perhaps during a lunch break is best for you. Taking a walk, before or after you've eaten your lunch, or at the end of the day, before or after dinner is a beautiful time as well for families to connect, to go out and enjoy the sunset, to exercise when the sun's less intense, if it's still warm in your neighbourhood. So if you're able to commit to a time of the day that best suits your lifestyle, suits your energy, and is a time that you feel you can regularly commit to, then block it out. Make a date with yourself. Put it in your calendar and commit to it, because I believe if you commit that time to yourself and you exercise every day, you will reap the benefits, and you will not want to miss that date with yourself once you realize how much better you feel for it. And as I said earlier, if you can't motivate yourself to do it on your own, work out in your mind who your buddy is going to be. Let them know how important this is to you, and that you would really appreciate their support in exercising with you, and get them on board. I'm sure they're probably thinking the same, and so it only takes one of you to step up and ask the question, can you help me? And finally, when we're goal setting, it's really important to be honest with ourselves and to work out what are the barriers to achieving our goals. So if I wanted to commit to walking 2 kilometers around my neighborhood 3 times a week at a pace that allows me to start feeling breathless but not feeling uncomfortable, I need to be honest with myself. What is going to stop me from achieving that? And I need to address those barriers first. So it could be that I need a comfortable pair of walking shoes. That could be step one, to go online and order a pair of walking shoes. Step two may be to identify the best time of the day that I'm going to achieve that. And for me, it's the mornings. So I commit to going first thing or straight after breakfast, and I ask my family to either come with me, or I ask for time to be able to go and do that for myself. Maybe I find walking boring, particularly if I'm on my own. So I would need to find something else that would motivate me to go on the walk. And maybe for me it's listening to music, or maybe it's listening to a podcast. If I struggle to walk for 30 minutes and I find myself getting bored after 15 minutes, if I found a podcast that lasted for 30 minutes, I can commit to keep walking until the podcast is finished. So in your case, have a think. What are the barriers for you, and what do you need to think about addressing to assist you in achieving your fitness goals? Write them down. Speak to someone that you trust to hold you accountable, and then put it into practice. Have a go. Starting somewhere and doing a little bit is better than doing nothing at all. And then when you do start to achieve the steps towards your goal, celebrate them. Celebrate the tiny the steps, and then have some way of celebrating the bigger goals as well, and reward yourself, because it's got to be fun, it's got to be motivating. And when you feel the benefits, it will start to become a natural part of your routine, and you won't want to give it up. That's my wish for you anyway. So set yourself those goals. I wish you luck. It may not be easy for some of you. I appreciate that. I've got a love of exercise. I just have no qualms about doing it, but I appreciate for some of you it's a struggle. So find ways to build success into your goal setting, and then celebrate, share it with someone, and motivate somebody else. It can be a contagious effect, but ultimately it will bring you a range of benefits, as I mentioned at the beginning, and it is the one thing that you do have control over at the moment. You can allocate some time to it, and it will not only help your physical health, it will give you much better mental health, and it will also be assisting in disease prevention and boosting your immunity, which we all need at this time. So there are just so many reasons to make it a priority in your life at the moment. Whew. Doesn't take me long to fill an hour when I talk about something I'm passionate about. Listen, I'm going to be wrapping up in the next 5 minutes. I would like to invite you to like Women's Health and Wellbeing Service on Facebook, because this is the first of many videos that you're going to see from not only myself but my colleagues Mel and Kate. So every Friday at 11 a.m, morning tea time, I'll be here to provide you with a different topic to boost your health and well-being, and just just to give you some tools, some really simple, practical tools that will help you at any stage of your life, but particularly while we're all affected by COVID-19. So I look forward to connecting with you each Friday. Next week's topic will be around creating healthy sleeping habits. So that is absolutely essential for our daily functioning, and I have some really practical tips to share with you, so I hope you can join me for that one. And every Wednesday at 2 p.m, my colleague Mel, who is a trained psychologist, is going to be jumping on board doing her live Facebook videos on different mental health topics. And next week, I'll just check what she's going to be speaking about. That's right, next week she'll be exposing you to a little taster of our online money course. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're here to support you holistically with a whole different range of topics that affect your health and well-being, and financial management, money matters, is absolutely one of those. So Mel will be giving you an introduction to a 4-week online course, which you may be able to access at a future time. And also, if you keep an eye on our Facebook page, you will notice that Kate is setting up some Facebook groups, one to discuss what you're watching on Netflix, and also one for mothers, particularly those with young children who are isolated at home. It's going to be a lovely way to share some strategies and survival tips with one another, and just to remain connected and supported during this time of social isolation. So there's lots coming up from us at Women's Health. We are remaining very responsive and committed to supporting our community. For those of you who may be struggling with any aspect of your life, but particularly with your mental health, we're happy to say we do have appointments available at the moment with our psychologists. And so it's a very simple process of phoning and asking for a referral, or you can go and see your GP for a mental health care plan, and they will then forward that on to us, and you'll be able to access our phone or video counselling sessions over the next few months until we can return to face-to-face sessions. So we're very pleased to be able to be supporting our community. If there are any topics that you would like Mel or Kate or I to cover during this time, we'd love to hear from you. I have some ideas, but I'm very open to being challenged to present on topics that are important for you. So you can drop us a message through Facebook or an email through our website, and that will get passed on to me. So, and just finally, as I mentioned, I'll be preparing regular blogs and resources which will be going up onto our website. So the content from today's talk will appear there hopefully today, if I can work out the technology. Otherwise, just keep an eye out and it'll be appearing soon. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've gained some insight from being here with me today. I wished that I'd been able to interact with you on Facebook, but I wasn't sure how to do that, so I will put that down on my to-do list to learn for next time. Next Friday I'm on annual leave, so my video will be pre-recorded, so if we have any opportunity to interact, it will be the following Friday. So from me, Janet at Women's Health and Wellbeing Services, I wish you a happy and healthy week, and I wish you all the best with your physical activity goals. I believe that you can achieve them. So give them a go, and I'm sure that you will start to feel better almost straight away. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again. Bye.